This video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 things that make 4D manifestation so much easier. There's a new paradigm on the planet, a new way to create, and this is going to make it so much easier. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you those 3 things that you can do to make 4D manifestation so much easier, because the truth is the vibration on the planet is continuing to raise, and as the vibration on the planet raises, what happens is we then have a new paradigm for a way of creating what we want. We increase the synchronicity in our life. You'll notice more and more things just happening, you being at the right place at the right time. And what this is going to allow you to do is to really align with the best version of you. Because as you raise your vibration, you also feel in an elevated emotion. You feel better, you feel higher vibe. And this is the process of what we're going through, because right now what's happening on the planet is there is a spiritual awakening that is happening at different levels. And this awakening has to do with us remembering more of who we are and how we relate to reality itself. So when we look at this, we could see that there are a few different ways of categorizing what 4D manifestation is. Now there's these different perspectives, and the easy way for me to explain it is I've explained it in a couple videos, but I'll go and do it real quick. There's 3D, 4D, and 5D. All of these levels of consciousness are options that we have right now depending upon our vibration. Now when you look at that of 3D, that is the paradigm that has been around for a very long time. 3D level of consciousness has been that of duality, which is good, bad, light, dark, up, down. There's opposites in this. And this a lot of time is when we become attached and identified with labels. This is when we say I am Republican or I am Democrat. This is when we have that level of polarity. At the same time, there'll normally be a strong level of control. There's been a level of control, whether it be the money system that we have in our reality, or it be that of certain people that orchestrate certain events or certain type of ways things are brought about. That's all in a level of control. Now what's happening on the planet is we're actually moving from that and into a new paradigm. Now then what we have is 4D level of consciousness. 4D is where we realize that there still is somewhat a level of duality, but it's from a different point of view. We can more so observe what is happening. And then what it is it's more of a dreamlike state. It's where we realize that in a way, life is a form of dream. And when we understand that, it makes everything so much easier. And at the same time, this is when we start to focus more on understanding our vibration. This is when we understand that things are much more flexible than we thought before, whereas in the duality, the 3D reality, it's all about that of time, linear time-space reality. This is where we start to transcend that. And then we have that of 5D consciousness, which is unconditional love. And that is where we see unity consciousness. We recognize everyone else as another aspect of us. That's when time really starts to go away. We start to exist in the moment more so than ever before, which really the only moment is now anyways. And that's when we start to really live from our heart. That of 4D, we can still use our head, but we're starting to combine it to our heart. 5D is completely in our heart level consciousness. Now, what is happening is the old school way of manifestation is the 3D paradigm. The 3D paradigm is I am here, I want to get here, it's doing all of these things. It's focused more so in emphasizing form, emphasizing solidity. Now, what's going on now though is we are moving out of this old cycle and we are in the 4D level of consciousness. 4D level of consciousness is where, yes, some of those aspects can still be here, but it's from a much more different energy. So for this, the concept is to first off knowing that there's this transition going on in the world where we have the option of moving from 3 to 4 to 5D in this lifetime. This is something that doesn't happen very often, where there is especially the fact that there are almost 8 billion people here on the planet and we're going through this collective shift in consciousness. Some people are at different levels than others or at different parts than others, but it is still happening at a mass scale. It's very interesting to see. And maybe you see this right now as old 3D structures are falling away. Certain systems, like the government system, for example, that we saw that used to work is no longer really working. And people are starting to question their reality. They're questioning the news. Why is everything on the news always so negative? Well, there's the thoughts that we currently think that create our reality, and then there's thoughts that we all collectively think that create the collective reality. And if you control what the collective is thinking, you control the timelines and you control the reality. So the key is to understand that this is about us taking our power back. So we are waking up in this lifetime. It's a very beautiful thing to be a part of, and I'm excited to be here with you sharing these because we're all waking up together, so it's very powerful. And for 4D manifestation, the first thing that makes 4D manifestation so much easier is understanding that life is a dream. Life is a consistent dream. Like when you go to bed at night, you have a dream and you wake up in the morning and go, oh, that was a dream. However, the idea and the understanding is that the things that we think in our life are solid are simply different rates of vibration. Things in our life that appear to be solid, like this little microphone thing right here, is both that of a wave and a particle. Meaning I decipher this reality through my 5 senses, so I can feel this and I can touch it and it feels solid, but it is simply different rates of vibration that make up my perception of this. And simply understanding that, I can see that it is both a wave and a particle. And what that gives me the ability to do is to understand that it is both solid and not solid at the same time. Now, in the same way, when you recognize that things in your life are both solid and not solid at the same time, you can see there's more flexibility in your life. And the more solidity you give to the things in your life, the more hard things are for you. If you are here and you want to be over here, and this is very solid and heavy, it's hard to make it come over here. But instead, if you focus on knowing that it's about vibration, then things become easier than ever. You see, our beliefs about manifestation directly impact the manifestations we have in our life. I'm going to say that one more time. The beliefs we have about our manifestation process affects how we manifest. In 3D, we believe that things normally are hard, solid, fixed. There's a certain timeline to it. 4D, you start to realize that your beliefs can change about it because your beliefs create your reality. So change your beliefs about things being so solid, and you can then see it's more about resonance. You can more so focus on you going into your heart, you understanding that you are the source from which you create things in your life. And that even beyond that, you are a divine being. You are an immortal spiritual being living a temporary human experience. This makes it easier because then you know that you are guided. You know that you are connected to this larger stream of energy that you could call your higher self. You could call it many different things. But the more aware you become that life is a dream, the more dreamlike your life will become. And that is simply because the more you see things as flexible, the more flexible things can come to you. When you have these rigid thoughts of how things have to manifest, you create rigidity in your life. Instead, let it go. Allow things to be. Understand that you can allow manifestation to be easy. And understand that life is a dream. In a way, you could think of it like, if you want to go a little bit more down the rabbit hole, think of it like we are, in a way, in higher realms of consciousness right now, projecting ourselves here for a period of time. And when we go to bed at night, we wake up as these higher states of consciousness. But we forget about it. We forget about it when we wake up because it's not always relevant. However, we have this connection. And at the end of this life, we may wake up as a larger aspect of ourself and go, wow, that was felt very real while I was in it. But you see, the more you realize your life is a dream, the more dreamlike your life will become. It's like my new mantra, that's why I say it a lot. Now, the second thing that makes 4D manifestation so much easier is not necessarily focusing on just the end result, but focusing on the vibration of that end result. So for example, instead of saying, I want the money, never make money the goal. Make the vibration of you living freedom the goal, or whatever the money will bring you the goal. Focus more on the vibration than anything else, and you'll find that things start to happen even easier for you. It's about being aware of what you want and why you want it. You know, when I make YouTube videos, it's very easy because I focus on the vibration of me being in the flow state. That's why I'm able to put out so many videos. I love doing it. It's my passion. In 4D manifestation, you also follow your passion more, because your passion is your body telling you this is what you're meant to be doing. So begin to follow that passion. What is it? You don't know what it is? That's fine. Set the intention to figure out what it is, and you will get more and more evidence of what it could be. Set that intention. I intend to find out my passion. Pay attention to what comes up in your life. Pay attention to the conversations you overhear. Pay attention to the people that come into your life, and you'll begin to find more and more evidence of it. The key is understanding that alignment. Now, this is about identifying the vibration of what you want to experience. And another way to do that is to know that your vibration is a combination of what you think, how you feel, and what you do, how you act. Think, feel, act. Imagine the ideal reality that you want to be living in, the quote-unquote end result, and begin to embody those characteristics now. This is what I did with YouTube back in 2017. I knew I wanted to be a full-time YouTuber. I thought, what would that version of me be doing, thinking, feeling? And I literally aligned with that reality. I started to make daily YouTube videos before I was a full-time YouTuber, and within a couple months, I became a full-time YouTuber, and I was able to get rid of my 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes at Barney's, New York. So that same potential is there for you. Identify what you want to be doing. You want to be painting? Paint every day. Paint when you're passionate. You want to play piano? Play piano every day. Find ways. Get creative. The more you're in this passion frequency, the more you are manifesting from that 4D level of consciousness. Now, the third thing that makes 4D manifestation so much easier is reminding yourself of your divine connection to your heart. Understand, the more you exist in your heart, the more you create from a higher level paradigm. Remember, the 3D reality is about duality, left brain, right brain, good, bad, light, dark, all of these different polarities. Instead of creating from the brain, create from your heart. And you do that by first off going what you're passionate about, not about the money. But then you focus on your divine essence. You are a divine being. And you can allow this energy to flow through you. You can allow yourself to understand that the universe always supports you. And when you realize that you are a divine being, you can connect to that divine source within you. You can connect inside of your heart center. Things will happen even easier for you, because it's not just the ego that's trying to do everything. What if the best case scenario for your ego, the 3D level of consciousness that's emphasized so much, is the floor to your higher mind? Because your higher mind can imagine even greater things. So have your desires, have your vibration, but surrender it to your higher self, surrender it to your divine self, surrender it to the universe, surrender it to God, surrender it to whatever label you want to use for this, but surrender it at the same time. It's this other side of the coin, is intention with emotion and letting go of the outcome. Because you are supported. And you are a divine being. And the more you recognize that you are a divine being, the more sacred your life will become. The more you will see that there. And a powerful way to do that, honestly, is meditation. If you want to increase and make 4D manifestations so much easier, meditate. Observe your thoughts, because then you can observe the 3D. You can observe the things people are trying to trigger you into. You can observe the old structures, and in that observation, you detach from it, and then you have the power to go in the direction you want. So the key to this is understanding that that power exists within you. So what you can begin to do is understand, the more you emphasize that life is a form of dream, the more dreamlike your life will become. At the same time, the more you identify the vibrations of what you want to experience and you start to embody it, the more that will become your reality. And the more you tap into your heart center, and you could do that in meditation, you could do that throughout your day, the more you will find that you create from this higher level paradigm. So, with this as well, something that will help you with this process is raising your vibration. One of the most powerful meditations I've ever made is on raising your vibrational set point. It's in the top of the description box below. You can listen to it for 21 days. I think it'll change your life. Also, I'm going to be doing more live Q&As on Instagram, so if you haven't followed me on Instagram, I do them almost every single day. Plus, I do 2 posts a day on Instagram that's native. So if you want more content from me, you can follow me there as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification gear next to the subscribe button so you could see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.